You're not going to like this statistic, but you do need to hear it. Less than 10% of YouTubers hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone because they're stuck in something called small channel hell. And the big reason why is because small creators are far too focused on just getting views and just getting subscribers. And this is at the sacrifice of building those skills as a creator to become successful. But you don't have to become part of that doomed 90%. The big secret is to simply take your attention off getting more views and getting more subscribers, and instead focus on these 6 foundational skills of YouTube. And once you do that, the views and subscribers will take care of themselves. And we'll kick things off with a skill you probably haven't thought of. And to explain it, let's hear from, officially, the largest content creator on YouTube.
Your first video is not going to get views, period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. All you need to do, this applies to people who have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time.
Basically, in the beginning, your videos are going to suck. And if you need evidence of this, watch some of Mr. Beast's first videos. Even if you've watched tons of tutorials and bought all of the best film and equipment and believe to your core that you're doing everything creatively right, you won't be, and your videos aren't going to get that many views. And the best way to test this is to go to your channel right now and watch a video you made a year ago. Yeah, you're going to cringe, aren't you? But this is all completely normal. Look, the chances are your first few videos aren't going to crack 100 views, even 50 views. And if they do, you probably want to celebrate that fact. All of these tiny numbers don't mean that you're bad at YouTube and that you should give up already, because you're at the very beginning of your journey. In the real world, or at least sports, Michael Jordan wasn't making game-winning shots the first time he picked up a basketball, and it took Lionel Messi an entire career to win the World Cup. A big difference between YouTubers who get, let's say, silver play buttons and those who are stuck in small channel hell is that the successful creators have learned something: the art of failure. They understand that the real key to winning on YouTube is to simply never stop making videos. When I designed this t-shirt, I very nearly went for the hashtag relentless, because that's what it is to be a creator. It's like learning to play the guitar. You wouldn't give up after your second lesson if you couldn't play an AC/DC guitar solo. And if you did, well, playing a guitar isn't for you, is it? Very much like YouTube isn't for you if you want to give up after your first 3 videos get less than 100 views. You're going to have videos that don't perform. That happens to all of us. And you'll have days where you ask yourself, is all of this worth it? Well, the creators you love to watch, who likely inspired you, are proof enough that it is worth it. And once you're able to change your mindset from failure is bad to failure is the key to growth, your channel will benefit. One of the best ways to do this is to use something like Richard Branson's concept of fail well. Basically, Branson figured out that the faster you can fail and study what didn't work, the faster you're going to succeed. And this was one of the foundational frameworks he used to build one of the biggest airline empires in the world. So if your next YouTube video doesn't get the views you want, don't just throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm done with this. Instead, give yourself a couple of days grace to emotionally detach from the effort you put into that video, and then go into review mode. Study why it didn't perform well. You'll probably find 2 or 3 things that you could have done better or you shouldn't have included in the video at all, and you can apply them to your next video. But I understand as a YouTube newbie, it may be difficult to properly study a video. And what could help you with that is a dedicated YouTube coach and mentor. And it just so happens here at vidIQ, that's what we offer. Not only will they feedback on your videos, but they'll audit your channel and develop a 3-phase growth plan. And that's just the tip of a coaching iceberg. And on top of all of that, you'll get full and complete access to all of vidIQ's YouTube growth tools. For more information on one-on-one coaching here at vidIQ, check out the link in the description and act fast to take advantage of this exclusive offer. Learning the art of failure is just the first foundational step to escaping small channel hell. The second step is a practical one. And in order to explain it, I need you to answer this question. Why do you think this video got 400,000 views and yet this video got 90% less views? Objectively, it's pretty clear which has the best thumbnail. They're on the same topic, and yet the creator that got 400,000 views has less subscribers. Well, it all comes down to one of the simplest business formulas there is: supply and demand. And that's what Charlie's tapping into to create viral videos. For example, this video went viral in Charlie's niche 2 months before he posted his own video. The channel had 50,000 subscribers and the video got 250,000 views. This clearly meant that the video idea was in high demand, and by virtue of this creator having an outlier video, supply was relatively low. So Charlie took the format, improved on it, and his video went viral. So let's take a look at how you can identify your own viral video ideas. With vidIQ's keyword research tool, I'm going to show you how these 3 channels all went viral using the same specific keyword. So when you come into the tool, you can see that you have the option to search for keywords. Here you can type in any topic or idea you want and check the demand for it compared to the competition. And what you're looking for here are keywords that have high search volume but low competition. The overall score that's closer to 100, the better. For example, if we search for the main keyword in the title of these videos, you can see that it has a very high search volume but low competition, and the overall score in the 80s is very good. So when these creators made their videos around these topics, the videos went viral for their channels. And it didn't just perform once. As you can see, these channels have used this keyword multiple times to produce above average viewed videos. And if you put the same time and effort into researching your video ideas, then ultimately your content has a better chance of performing well when it's published on YouTube. Well, almost. Because the next critical skill is selling that idea to your audience, the packaging. So let's start with eye-popping thumbnails. I'm curious to know what the editor's going to do with this. Now the chances are, if you're watching this video, improving your thumbnails is high in your agenda because we talk about it all of the time. And now there's the added pressure of YouTube's new test and compare feature that allows you to A/B test thumbnails on your videos. So you've probably heard the fundamentals like keeping your thumbnails simple, creating curiosity and contrasting colors. So in this video, I want to focus on a few things that you might not have thought about yet when it comes to making thumbnails. And to do that, we're going to break down these 3 thumbnails that delivered results like this, and this. So the first concept I want to introduce you to is the rule of thirds. This is a common photography technique that creates more engaging and balanced images. It's like placing a tic-tac-toe board over your image that helps you guide where the elements should be positioned in the frame. For example, if we place a tic-tac board over this thumbnail, we can see the most important elements are placed where the lines cross. This instantly makes the thumbnail more balanced and interesting, so more people are likely to click on the video. Next is keeping a consistent and branded style. What you're trying to develop here is an instant and instinctive recognition of your content whenever it appears on YouTube. Think about your own viewing habits. When you recognize a thumbnail from one of your favorite creators on the homepage, you probably don't pay too much attention to the thumbnail and the title. You just say to yourself, yep, that's an awesome creator, I'm going to watch whatever they've made. Once you have brand recognition, it is a really strong marketing tool within your niche. And a great example is from this channel I showed earlier. Notice how all of their videos have the same font style and colours. The only thing that really changes is the background image. The consistency not only makes the thumbnail visually appealing, but it also creates that brand recognition, helping your audience to become more familiar with your content. And the final tip is to put your own spin on viral formats. If you haven't already noticed, we post a variation of this thumbnail pretty consistently on our channel because, well, this video's got 3.5 million views. And because YouTube is a free market, the competition is likely to, how shall I put this, requisition winning formulas. These viral formats exist in all niches. There are certain types of thumbnails that your audience is naturally going to be drawn towards. Take the lifestyle and shopping haul niches. Objectively speaking, these thumbnails don't follow the YouTube norm. They're cluttered, chaotic, but they match the style and vibe of the audience. So it's your job to find these formats that work within your niche and then apply them to your style. The best way to do this is to go to the top 3 channels in your niche, sort their best performing videos, and then look at what thumbnails they're repeating on their top videos. But if you just poured everything into eye-catching thumbnails, then the videos themselves likely wouldn't satisfy the viewer. One might say style over substance. So let's start cramming your videos full of value through a skill that predates YouTube by centuries. Script writing. Script writing is something that most creators avoid because it's a complicated topic and it involves a task that many people hate creatively. Pre-production. So allow me to introduce to you a formula that will make this a little more digestible. It's a 4-step process that will make scripts much easier to write and have a much better flow. And where else can we start but with research? The key to research simply is this. As long as you're 1 step ahead of your audience, you are the expert. So your goal should be to find new and exciting information around the topic that your audience hasn't heard before. It makes it more exciting, more engaging, and the audience are going to watch for longer. The second step is to lay out the structure of your script. So in your scripting document, create a heading for your hook. Then pick 3 to 5 points for your research and make them your subtopics. And then detail the things that you want to talk about with these subtopics. What is it? Why is it important? What evidence do you have to support your claim? Once you know and are confident about all of this, then when you're recording, it's just going to flow through you naturally and feel more genuine and authentic. And now we get to writing that first draft, and I have some good news here, because weirdly, you want to try and write this as quickly as possible. You're not really trying to edit here or make the perfect script, just write, or maybe type. What will make this step even quicker is obviously experience over time, but the fact that you've created this structure beforehand. And then once you have madly scribbled or typed down everything, stop. Take a deep breath and leave the script for a little while. And then when you come back to it, you want to edit and edit and edit, because this is where the magic happens. You want to make sure that each part of the script meets your audience's expectations. And there are a couple of key questions you can ask yourself when you're editing. If I was a viewer, would this section get me excited? If I was a viewer, would I keep watching at this point? Funnily enough, that's pretty much what we did when we created the script for this video. As you can see, it's well researched, and there's a lot to it. Now remember, in the scripting process, we told you to create a heading for your hook, and we're going to come back to that now because it's pretty important. And to demonstrate, I'm going to share with you this channel that hit 500,000 subscribers in 6 months with just 7 videos. A powerful hook is so important because of this part of your audience retention graph. It's where the vast majority of viewers abandon videos in the shortest space of time. It's a pretty key signal to the YouTube algorithm that viewers aren't being satisfied at all by the content and are moving on very quickly, which likely means that your content won't be discoverable for very long. So how do you create a powerful hook? Is there a formula you can follow? I think you know the answer by now. Yes. It works by following these 3 steps. Highlight audience problem, challenge their common beliefs around it, present a new solution. To make sense of this formula, let's take a look at that channel now, Easy Actually, and how this video got 1.5 million views.
People usually think losing weight is about half diet and half exercise, but both of these combined are only about 25% of it.
Notice how in the first 4 seconds he brings up the issue of losing weight. This not only confirms the click, but it also gets the audience to think about the problem. Next, he challenges the belief that losing weight is a 50-50 split between diet and exercise. Now this is going to grab attention because it employs something called cognitive dissonance. It creates curiosity and intrigue because it surprises the audience with this new information.
Another 25% is good quality sleep, and the other 500% is actually doing what you said you would.
It makes a viewer start to question their understanding of weight loss and become more open to new ideas. And then a new solution is presented.
Luckily, if you start a diet right now, there is a way, an easy way, to make it almost impossible to fail.
It promises to solve the audience's ultimate dilemma in a new way. It gives the viewer hope, makes them want to stick around to find out just how this solution is going to work. Insert this formula into your hooks for the next 3 or 4 videos, and then check what your audience retention is after 30 seconds. The YouTube Studio gives you this data. Speaking of which, you can go very deep into YouTube analytics very quickly and end up with analysis paralysis. So given that you are currently stuck in small channel hell, let's focus on the lowest hanging fruit. And that starts with your watch time and audience retention. These are the most important pieces of data to understand how engaged your audience are and whether or not they're going to come back to future videos. Watch time simply measures the total amount of time people have been watching your videos. The higher the better, the more likely YouTube is going to recommend your content to a wider audience. But of course, to a certain extent, the video length is going to determine your watch time, so you need to also understand audience retention. This shows you exact moments in your videos when viewers are dropping off or rewinding to certain parts of a video. For example, the bigger the drop in audience retention in the first 30 seconds, the more weak your hook was. And of all the things you should be working on when it comes to audience retention, that is your first priority. Another example is a steady decline in the graph throughout the video. What this suggests is that you're not doing enough to hold your audience's attention. It could be that the topics you have chosen are boring, or you're just not delivering them in an exciting way to the audience. On the other hand, when you see parts of a graph that are flat or are spiking upwards, the audience loves those sections. So as not to get too bogged down on this, perhaps every month or every 4 or 5 videos, analyze this data, look for patterns. Maybe it's the style of the intro or a particular topic or the entire length of a video. This data will give you the cold, hard, unbiased facts about how your viewers engage with your content. Now, the other metric of interest is click-through rate. This tells you the percentage of people who see your thumbnail and title and actually click on it. Now, obviously, the higher percentage click-through rate, the better, but But this does come with a lot of caveats. A good click-through rate for our channel might be a terrible one for you because of the topic and competition. And when content goes viral, click-through rate plummets as impressions spike because YouTube is sharing the content amongst a much wider audience. So I recommend two things. Benchmark click-through rate against yourself, not against a general figure or competition. And if views and impressions go up, then you have to expect that click-through rate may go down. That's not a problem. And as mentioned earlier, take advantage of YouTube's new A/B thumbnail test and compare feature. While it does calculate watch time share rather than click-through rate, it is a measure of how your thumbnail is impacting the entire video. These changes in mindset and new creative skills clearly mark the exit sign from small channel hell. But we can go further than that, because there are many small channels getting millions of views on their very first videos. So over here, you'll find not only the proof of these small channel successes, but how you can emulate them.